Hey everybody, Cabana Greg here. Now before you guys throw in your really cool headphones and start listening to this podcast, I just want to let you guys know that I've uploaded half of the podcast to my YouTube channel. This half covers all of the gaming news for the week, as well as little tidbits as to like what I'm playing and what my friends are playing. If you guys want to listen to the full podcast in its original, beautiful glory, you guys can head over to our SoundCloud page, type in Hot Fix into the search bar, scroll down a little bit, and you'll see our little logo there. Click on that and you'll be able to access all of our podcasts anytime you want. So guys, without further ado, please enjoy this week's episode and look forward to more Hot Fix episodes in the future.
Welcome back everybody to the 8th episode of Hot Fix. This is a special episode. Not only are we now featured on iTunes, look us up, Hot Fix on iTunes. We also have a couple of guests for the first time. So it's going to be myself, Erik, along with Ben, and then our two guests, Marc and Austin. Everybody say hello.
Hello?
Hello, I'm a plat in Overwatch.
Oh boy.
It's gonna be a long night.
I guess we should have expected that after inviting him to be on this podcast.
That's probably true. We do have the whole Happy Squid Squad here, though, minus Greg.
We do. We just need Greg.
I mean, am I really a happy squid without having the player icon? Because
That's
I still
true.
don't have that fucking player icon.
It's the thought that counts. Like, you want it, so
yeah.
you're like...
But then again, if everyone has the player icon, then nobody has the player icon. Am I right?
I don't know if that's how that works in this situation.
That's definitely not how that works.
Yeah, fuck you.
Alright. You just have to believe hard enough. You'll get there.
All right, well, we have a couple of guests this week because this episode is going to be all about PAX East 2018, which just wrapped up about 24 hours ago as of the time of recording. But before we get into that, what's everybody playing this week?
I mean, I guess I'll start since I started talking first. Playing a lot of Overwatch like usual. Dabbling with Fortnite, even though I'm not on that pain train as much as I probably should be, according to social media. And PlayStation Plus had Mad Max free, so I'm playing that because why not? So
How's Mad Max going so far?
Not bad. Definitely repetitive to a point, and I feel also like trying to get to like a waypoint or like a mission, and then I like find like different like places that I can loot and like other different things to like clear regions out. So I feel like I keep running into those problems where I try to do one thing and I get sidetracked trying to get there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but not bad overall.
So the plight of every open world game ever.
Pretty much.
No,
the big
yeah.
question is, does it actually let you do the things that you go to do, or is it pull the Far Cry 5 and just not let you do anything you want ever?
No, usually it does. I mean, sometimes I'll run into like a random roaming crazy person and they'll ram me with their car a couple times and I'll have to stop and let the hunchback guy repair my car, so I'm just sitting there in the middle of the road, and then most likely someone else comes by and rams me with their car, and it happens all over again. But past that point, no.
All right, well, that's good. That's
Sounds
good.
like a good time.
The car combat in that game was fun. I do remember that being the best part about it.
Yeah, unless you don't have any ammo, which happens to me all the time. I'll like run out of shotgun ammo, and then I'll have my harpoon gun, which pretty much does nothing against like a convoy.
Right, and then you're pretty much just screwed.
Yeah.
Well, Marc, how about you? What are you playing?
Alright, this week, most likely Overwatch, as usual. Also some Fortnite maybe. Possibly getting into some Kingdom Hearts. Trying to play through the whole series before 3 comes out.
Haven't you been trying to do that for a while?
I have been, yeah, but I've been distracted.
Have you
mostly
beaten the
because of
first one
Overwatch.
yet?
The first one I'm actually skipping in my run through all of them because I've played it so many times. It's just
It's also
Which
not
one
very
were you
good.
Point.
I feel like you were playing one fairly recently.
I mean, I've been in Chain of Memories, which is the one that comes after the first one.
Okay.
But before the second one.
How long ago did you start that? Because I feel like you were playing that like at least a month ago.
Over a month ago. I really haven't played much.
Gotcha.
I took a long break from it. Mostly when we started Overwatch, I kind of stopped with like everything else for a while.
See, that's what Overwatch does. It just sucks all the fun out of everything else.
It really does, though. It's awful.
Not that. It just consumes your life more than usual.
Yeah, and I hate
you know
it.
What? That's fine.
I love it, but it totally does. But yeah, I'm trying to get into that. Like, just hop on the hype train before 3 comes out.
Mm-hmm.
Apparently,
the whole
people
series.
are actually getting to play 3 finally.
Really?
They sent out, Square Enix sent a couple of like journalists who are kind of well established invites yesterday, I believe, to come play the game, to be the first people to play it at some point somewhere. The information in terms of when and how they're playing it is limited, but like they know, and it's a thing, so the game is playable. And
That's good. That's a good sign.
But maybe it'll be out
But
this
no,
year even. But I doubt it.
They've been saying 2018 for a while now. I think it'll come out this year.
They've got 8 more months. We'll see if it's at
Yeah.
E3. I think that's going to be the telling. It has
Yeah,
to be.
it will.
But who knows?
Yeah, I haven't actually played through all the games, so I'm trying to do that now. I finally have all of them on PS4, so it's my chance to get through the whole series.
Gotcha. I hear the PSP one is really good. Birth by Sleep.
That one was good. I played that one because that's like the prequel to the series. So I played that one first. That one is actually really good. I hadn't played it until I got the remaster on PS4, but I was super into it. It was a lot of fun.
Gotcha. Yeah, let me know how it is. I never played it. I tried playing Kingdom Hearts 1 the year the PS4 came out, and I hated it. So I just never finished it.
That's also the reason why I skipped 1, because I would have gone into the first game right after Birth by Sleep, and like at that point the combat and like every mechanic is so evolved. So going from that to the first game would have been like terrible.
Right, just the worst
Like,
thing.
The first game just has like the 3-hit combo, on, like as opposed to Birth by Sleep, where there's like these massive like strings of attacks you can do.
Yeah,
It's like
there's actually a combat system in place.
yeah, it's crazy. So that's why I just didn't even want to deal with 1, just having like it just be so like dumbed down.
For sure.
Mm-hmm.
How about you, Ben?
Well, I finally beat The Witcher 3 in its entirety.
Woo!
Played through the end of Blood and Wine. That final boss was incredibly difficult.
Isn't it great? It's like a Dark Souls boss in the middle of your Witcher.
Yeah, but it also just like comes out of nowhere after just hours and hours and hours of really boring and unexciting combat. So I was like, okay, I almost hate this because I just want to be done now, and this is standing in my way.
You disliked the combat a lot more than I disliked the combat.
Yeah, I really did. Because literally every fight I would get into, I was just like, all right, mash light attack, and then the fight would be over. Like occasionally I'd have to dodge. Ooh.
You didn't get the hurricane sword swinging upgrade and
I
did that
did,
every
and then I
single
would
time.
forget to use it because it was like, why do that when I can just keep mashing square and
Because
win?
that's hilarious looking.
When I played, literally all I did was the hurricane thing, and I just cutting off people's heads left and right, and just
Wait,
sort
Austin,
through the
did you get
combat
the
like
rune
that.
upgrade to make it like 10 feet long?
No, I did
Oh,
not
yeah,
get that upgrade.
Yeah, there's a rune upgrade that literally like triples the range on it, and it's fucking asinine.
Like it was pretty much that combo, and it was the using Igni in like a stream to get people to drop their shields.
I loved Igni's stream. That
See,
was
I
great,
only
though.
had like 50% success rate with using the stream Igni to make people drop their shields.
Wait, if you hold it on them, it always makes people drop their shields.
Yeah, I
That's
know,
like a
but I'm
thing.
saying like I would hold it on them and either they would attack me or I'd get attacked by somebody else before they dropped their shield.
It's all about strategic positioning, my friend.
Yeah, okay. Don't give me that. There was like nothing strategic about the combat in that game until like the final boss.
He says being unable to accomplish basic tasks mid-combat.
Fuck you. Mostly I didn't need to because again I would just hammer square until they ran out of stamina and dropped their shields, which was equally effective.
I'd fine. I can't argue that. That is just as effective. It's just less fun.
But yeah, now that I'm no longer an unemployed bum, I have not had time to play anything else.
You're gonna have to find time to change that. Quit your job.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just quit.
Or just quit. Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
go
just
go
quit your
back
job.
to being an unemployed bum. That
Yeah.
sounds fun.
You don't need that money for anything, right?
I mean, only to survive and not get thrown into debtor's prison or something.
Is that a thing?
It used to be, and you know, Trump will probably
sure-
bring it
I
back.
was
Who the
about
fuck
to say,
pretty sure-
that's still a thing.
I'm pretty sure debtor's prison is just prison. they put
think
you
they-
in with the murders and rapists.
I don't think they.
They don't separate you guys out.
But no, like debtor's prison used to be like its own thing. I don't know how the fuck it works now. I don't think people get arrested just because they owe a stupid amount of money.
Yeah, they just send the kill squad
think,
after you.
What do you think the IRS does?
Yeah. It's even worse now. They just throw you in regular prison.
Man, I don't pretend to know how money works. I just know that I have negative sums of it.
I do now that I bought the $200 Mercy figure.
I mean, to be fair, I'm like how many thousands of dollars in the hole, so I won't see black until I'm 30 something probably.
Yeah, same. But on the topic of depressing things that aren't very fun, I've been playing Far Cry 5.
It's not fun.
It's not very fun.
Far Cry 5 is a lot of fun when it lets me do what I fucking want to do, which is like 10% of the time I'm playing it.
Yeah.
Because, like, okay, so what that game does is, like, they fixed all the gameplay, and, like, the actual act of playing it is better than it's ever been. Like, it just feels really good to play. The gun stuff's good. The partner system's been expanded, and it's neat. But, like, every time you try to drive literally fucking anywhere, like, I was trying to go 200 meters in a car to just go and get to the next side mission. So not far at all, and it took me an hour. Because every time I would drive literally 15 feet, 3 cars full of cultists would show up. And you have to deal with that, and then usually the car would get destroyed somewhere in the midst of that. And every time I would finish them off, I would drive 10 more feet, and then that would happen. Or we get to something even better when I'm like midway through doing what I want to do, and the game decides now's the time for a mandatory story mission and pulls me out of it.
Perfect.
See, like your description of that makes me not want to get the game.
That's
But
the thing,
also,
like,
I saw
like
it at PAX, and I want to get it. Like I don't know, I'm very on the fence with that.
It's really conflicting
sorry to
because
cut
the
you
parts of it when you can actually do what you want to do are genuinely a lot of fun. Like, I was playing it the other day and Mike was watching and I was just actually fucking around for a little bit and it was great. Yeah. But it's just so much of it is just like, let me do what I fucking want to do. Like, I'm not playing this game to be like fucking railroaded into killing cultists every 10 seconds. I want to go do the activities that I want to do.
So wait, you're saying this game is entirely about just killing people?
Like, in the wrong context, it's bad. Like, killing people in the spots that I want to kill people is fun. Killing people on the way to where I want to kill people is less fun, because it's just annoying.
That sounds like just stupidly excessive enemy spawn.
It absolutely is. It's fucking lunacy. And, like, I know it's not just my game, because the other couple of people I know who have this, and every reviewer who I've read, all have the same problem. So
there are just too many bad guys.
There's just too many bad guys all the time.
Like, why do you have to fight them, though? Why can't you just keep driving?
Because they will chase you.
It's like, okay.
And, like, eventually they will fuck up your car and shit. And if you keep driving, you will run into other ones who will run you off the road. And also, like, the game's, like, there's no, like, people to talk to go get, like, side missions. It's not like most open world games where it's like, here's the big icon, go talk to this person, they'll give you a mission. You get side missions by, like, saving people and shit. So if you're driving on the road and you see 4 cultists and they're about to execute somebody, you have to go save them because that's the only way you get missions.
Oh, okay.
So, like, on one hand, it's like, I don't really care, like, I want to just keep going, but on the other, it's like, if I don't stop what I was doing to save them, I'm gonna miss out on getting the other objectives.
Yeah.
And the whole narrative of the game is based on doing side content. Like, it's split into, like, 3 main sections, like, of the map. And, like, each one is controlled by a different person, and to get to the confrontation with them, you need to just do random shit to fuck with the cult to build up a meter. And the shit you do to fuck with the cult is just, like, all the side activities.
Oh, okay.
So if you don't have anything being, like, here's the mission, you just can't do anything other than just go, like, blow up the silos, which isn't particularly fun. You just run up to it and throw dynamite at it.
Yeah. I played Far Cry 4 and it was kind of the same way. Like, there'd be a ton of enemies everywhere, but like usually I would just kind of just outrun them. Like, I just drove away, and you'd see them like attacking like innocent people. And at first it'd be like, all right, let me stop and kill them and like save the person. They give you like money or whatever. But after a while, I just kind of kept going. Like, I just wanted to do my side quest or whatever it was I was doing at the time.
Yeah, you have the option to, and I liked Far Cry 4 a lot because of it. And I don't know, like, I'm like tonight, I'm like, part of me is like, I should go play Far Cry 5, and the rest of me is like, maybe I'm gonna go play anything else.
Let's hop on Overwatch.
But, yeah, like, that's probably gonna be what wins here. But that's what I've been playing.
Have fun doing that while I sleep.
I will.
And stay comfortably nestled in gold.
We need to get Mark up into platinum so we can all be there but you.
Yeah. I mean,
Yep.
have
It's gonna be
fun.
that's a daunting task at this point.
Listen, I'm 1-7 since placing, and I just don't want that to get worse.
That's fair. You know what? I'm gonna wear my Overwatch League hat whenever we're playing and see if that helps. Then maybe I'll go hit up a 14-year-old girl in true Boston Uprising fashion.
Too soon. I was
there goes
wondering
my
if that
hopes
was
and
gonna come
dreams,
up in this
Casper.
podcast.
To be honest, I have absolutely no attachment to the team, so I, whatever.
For those listening who may not know what we're talking about, Boston Uprising, which is Boston's Overwatch League team, who've been doing really well in no small part because of one of their players, Dreamcasper, who's like the best DPS in the league or close to it, got indefinitely banned from Overwatch League this morning because he was accused of trying to pursue a 14-year-old.
Yeah, he's a scumbag.
Yeah, and all of like the text messages and chats and stuff are like up online, and like they're pretty blatant.
Yeah. I was looking at some of those, like, holy shit.
Yeah, it's
That's
not like somebody
disgusting.
like jumped the gun on it. Like maybe it was friend. Like no, he was
No,
after some shit.
he was trying. He was trying super hard.
That's so gross.
It really is, and now he's not on the team, so we're probably fucked. But
I mean, good. He shouldn't be.
But I still believe in the team though. We have Gamsu, we have Striker. I think we'll be all right.
no, they could definitely still do well. It's just that is a bummer. I'm curious how they go this week without him. Like the immediate.
We need to pick up another DPS.
If they need another DPS, I can learn how to play PC Overwatch in about 2 minutes.
Yeah.
They just got to give me a good rig. That's all I need.
But see, Eric, you say this is a bummer, but like, fuck him.
Well, I mean, it's the
It's
same kind of bummer that it was like with like Kevin Spacey or Louis C.K., where it's like you're a fucking asshole, but also like this is a bummer because I enjoyed what you did outside of this.
I guess.
Like fuck you.
I
but,
don't
like,
have that
doesn't make-
attachment to Dreamcasper because I really don't care about Overwatch League.
Yeah,
but-
like I like the team and watching him play, but like, okay, I'm not gonna say like, damn, he should still be on the team.
No,
'cause,
like, he's
that's
a
true. He
scumbag.
totally deserves it.
And yeah, like fuck him. He should very much be punished for this. But at the same time, it's like outside of this, like I enjoyed following him.
I mean, yeah, and it's like shitty. He kind of just like fucked up his career, but that's his own fault. Like,
Yeah, I feel no
He-
sympathy
like that.
for him.
It didn't even
Maybe
take
a little
that
bit for
long.
his teammates
Usually,
who
it
have
takes
to deal
people-
with this now.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, like they just need to compensate for him
Yeah.
not being there more than anything.
And also the bad press that this is very
Absolutely.
clearly gonna get.
That's true, but I don't know if, like, to be honest, like, I don't think the Uprising or the the Overwatch press is big enough where they're gonna have to deal with like a PR.
Also
shitstorm.
fair.
Like, I think
Hey,
it's gonna be more
hey.
of like, how do they play the
I
game
think-
now?
In
yeah, I
show
think this
business,
is like the extent of it.
in show business, bad press is good press.
It's not always true. Look at Louis C.K. and Kevin Spacey to go back to that one. I don't-
Hey, people know them now, though. If they didn't know them before, they do
That's not true at all.
But, I think Boston should work something out with the Dallas Fuel.
I think maybe we should segue
I
to
want-
something else.
I want Siegel on Boston Uprising. That's all I'm gonna say.
We'll have an Overwatch League focused episode where we just talk
All
about
right.
it in the off season.
I will not be present for it because I really just don't care about Overwatch League.
That's fair. But anyway,
Yes, please get us onto something else,
tell you
anything
about
else.
some other news. Not much in terms of news this week, partially because not much happened, and also because we recorded the last episode like a week ago. 4 things on our agenda. 3 of them are release things. The first one, the Spyro Reignited trilogy, is coming to PS4 on September 21st. Duh.
I'm for that.
Duh.
I
They've
was
been-
honestly worried that they weren't going to renounce that.
Actually?
Yeah, well,
'Cause
like
they've been dropping hints for this for literal months, to the extent where it was like,
Well-
just fucking announce it already.
Well, that's the thing is, I knew that was happening. Like, I knew, like, I heard news and like slight tidbits of things, and like that it was going to be announced, but it wasn't coming. So I'm like, maybe it's just bullshit that people are spreading through the internets, because that happens all the time. But I'm glad that they finally got it out.
That's
when
fair.
they-
Yeah, it is. It's coming out September 20th anniversary. It looks really nice.
It looks
It
beautiful.
looks beautiful. Yeah, they did a great job with it. I don't know if I'm actually going to play this one. I have no attachment to this character, but I'm glad it exists for
Same.
people who do.
I grew up on
probably
Spyro.
pick it up.
I grew
Yeah,
up on
same.
Spyro, so I'm like definitely gonna pick this one up for sure.
That's
I think
totally
I had
fair.
one Spyro game for like the GameCube, and I only sort of played it.
Those ones were bad. The ones that were on like pretty much the ones that are being released, those are the good ones. I had
The
Year of the
original
Dragon.
trilogy.
Yeah, I had Year of the Dragon, and Year of the Dragon is probably one of my favorite games
That
of all
was an
time.
amazing game.
Which
So-
is that the first or the second one?
That's the third one.
Oh,
That's the third
okay,
one.
gotcha.
Yeah, but like in that one, you can like you play as Spyro, but also can play as other characters.
Mhm.
So like you play as like the penguin, you play as like the cheetah guy, and like things like that. So like you can play as different heroes, and it kind of like it mixes things up enough where it's actually kind of like it's a good pace. It fixes up the pace. You can ride on a skateboard in that game, like things like that. It's just it has a lot of variety to it, where it makes it, I feel, a full-fledged it makes it more impressive. I feel like.
Gotcha. That's totally fair. Maybe I will check them out. We'll see in September. September's gonna be a busy month though. 'Cause September's literally it's like this, Rise of the Tomb Raider, possibly Smash, Spider-Man. That's the other news story. So there's a lot of shit coming out in September. The biggest one is probably at this point Spider-Man. To segue into that, which is coming out on September 7th, so a couple weeks before Spyro. And they put out some gameplay information about that one. It's pretty much exactly what everybody thought it was going to be. There's a whole bunch of villains. You play as Peter and Mary Jane, and there's a whole bunch of suits, and all your suits give you different powers and stuff, and like modify how the game plays a little bit. There's like 4 editions. There's like, the one that's just the game, the one with the season pass, the one with the $200 Spider-Man statue.
Of course.
The season pass.
There's always some like stupidly expensive statue involved.
Exactly. And then the season pass, it looks like
You would know,
free.
wouldn't you, Eric?
I would. I
Why
have
don't you tell
zero
our audience about
zero
what
regrets.
you did.
I already fucking talked about this once. Yeah, I got that $200 Mercy statue that Blizzard announced. Or I pre-ordered it, rather. It's coming in probably a couple of months. I think they said probably 3 months at the booth. So that's a thing that's on its way at some point. And I have a spot for it picked out in my wall already.
Of course you do.
Or like on my shelf, rather. It's going where Songbird is, and Songbird's going on the windowsill. Already got this figured out. But I'm excited.
Incredible.
And anyway, Spider-Man is going to have a 3-part season pass. Each one is going to have new villains and stuff. So it looks neat. I'm sure there'll be more gameplay at E3. But yeah, it's coming out in September, which everybody figured was going to come out this year anyway. I still wanted the surprise comes out day before Infinity War release, but I wasn't actually expecting that to happen.
We only wish that it came out that soon.
The last bit of release news we have is Divinity Original Sin 2 is coming to PS4 and Xbox One in August. Cool.
Hey, Mark, we gonna jump on that?
I would be willing to try that.
Did we confirm how many players that was? Because
I think it's up to 4.
4-player online co-op, local split screen and online.
so
All right.
we all
So,
can jump on that train if we
Yeah,
wanted to.
true. I'd be down for
I
that.
think first Mark and I should try to finish the first one.
I wouldn't say finish.
I was saying, like you said, it's
All
like
right,
100
yeah. At
hour
least
game.
try to make some progress and see if it's even beatable.
We can give it another try. I will give it one more honest attempt. See if we can get past at least the first area.
Yeah, I'm so sick of wandering around those same fucking
But
spots. It's
I
terrible.
don't know if I'm
Well-
I don't know if I'm willing to put in the time to finish the game. Like that seems like a lot.
I mean, same.
The reviews for this one when it came out were calling it better than the first one. Because this
I would
came-
hope so.
This came out for PC in September, so like the reviews are all very much already out.
I thought this one
Right,
was
yeah.
very highly praised, wasn't it? Or
The first
I
one
think
was
it was.
too, yeah. The first one is really critically regarded.
Maybe we're just dumb then, because I don't see it.
Maybe, but I don't know. I like to think that
It
we're
is,
not
like-
stupid, but
It's the game is not intuitive at all.
I agree
So-
with that. Yeah.
I have no opinion on this one. I've never played it.
It's
I'm
like-
not a big RPG guy.
I don't know. Just my issue with it is there's no map. First of all, you have to discover the map.
Mm-hmm.
You have to it's one of those things that kind of like unshades itself as you walk
Yeah,
through
it's
it.
like
Right.
the fog of
And-
war stuff.
So you get like a list of side quests. You tap one to activate it, and then you just have this little arrow that's at the top of your screen that kind of points you in the right direction, and it points you to like outside the city where there are just huge groups of enemies that are all way higher level than you, and we've tried every possible exit outside of that city and all the enemies we find.
We did make a little bit of progress. Let's
We made some.
we cleared out part of it, and we still have a lot to go, but
We did, but even that was like a really tough fight, which I feel like
It
shouldn't
was.
be that hard for like the beginning of the game. So
yeah.
I feel like maybe we're missing something, but I can't tell what it is.
My problem is that, like, the quests, even, like, the hints that you get are so vague, it's, like, impossible to really figure out what the heck you're supposed to be doing half the time.
They are. They're like, oh, go talk to so-and-so, or go to, like, this building, like, the name of the building. Like, I don't know what these places are called.
Right, there's no way you would really know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's, we've had a lot of trouble. I don't even want to know how many hours we've put into this stupid game already.
Well, you guys are playing it on
It's-
console, right?
Yeah.
I'm wondering if some of the issues with, like, the map and figuring out where shit is might be easier on PC.
I don't know how that would be possible,
Maybe? I
but
don't know.
maybe.
Like, maybe, like, there's some easier method to figuring out where the fuck you are just with the mouse and keyboard controls. I don't know. I'm spitballing, having not played either.
It seems doubtful. That seems like a thin defense.
It's not even a defense so much as a curiosity. Anyway, last bit of news here for the day. This one is interesting because, like, it matters so fucking little, but it's a neat precedent and, like, kind of shows where things are going here.
Okay.
Shadow of War permanently is removing all of its microtransactions.
I'm glad I waited.
Beginning on May 8th, they're just removing them from the game, and anybody who already has, like, the currency is just, that currency is being traded for, like, actual in-game content. It doesn't matter at all because nobody fucking played this game, like, when it
Hey
came
man,
out.
I'm going to play this game.
Well, no, I don't mean that as, like, a knock on the game, but, like, literally nobody played this game. Like, it did not sell well. It kind of came out, and everybody forgot about it immediately.
This is true.
If they were going to do this to try to spark interest, this needed to have been done in, like, November.
Yeah.
So this isn't going to draw
I mean-
anybody back in.
I mean, it shouldn't have been done at all.
No,
'Cause-
but, like, if they're going to remove it, like, it needed to have been done. Or they at least, like, they could have done, like, what Battlefront did and been like, we're going to remove these soon. But just put the announcement out so people know.
Mm-hmm.
Because, like, they announced this was happening. This isn't even happening until May.
I know. I played that game, and it like the problems with that game go beyond this. This helps, but like that end game is just, it's not, for me at least. You know, spoiler alert here, but it was not enjoyable for me, at least in the slightest, to play through that point and be like, wow, this is kind of shit.
Right.
And then
You
and then
said spoiler alert and then spoiled nothing.
I
Also.
don't want to be like, hey, I don't want people to know, like, you know, if they wanted to play the game like you, I don't want people to be like, oh, he told me it was shit, and like now I don't want to play
Spoilers,
it
this game sucks.
It doesn't like, it doesn't suck. Like, for the first 2/3 of the game, it's pretty decent, and then you get to that last point, you're just like, I want to die.
I think
And then-
Ben's
I mean,
already
I
at
say
that
that
point.
all
I
day,
don't think
every
he
day
needs the game
anyway.
to push him there.
Yeah. And then I even went ahead to like look at the end like cutscene, like the end cutscene after you finish the end game scenario, and I'm like, wow, also not worth it, because like it's just like it's like a little tidbit, and I'm like, because like I missed out on probably a good solid 12 hours of gameplay, and that 12 hours does not get justified in the slightest. So
To be fair, by the time I finished the first one, Shadow of Mordor, I also felt that the entirety of that game was not a good way to reach, like, the shit that I ended up with at the very end, with that terrible QTE boss fight and the really brief ending cutscene that was like, hey, there could be a sequel sometime.
I mean, to be honest, I thought a lot of Shadow of Mordor was kind of boring and uninspired, so...
Yeah, but you got to brutally kill a bunch of orcs, and that was fun.
It was fun for, like, half the game. The thing is, the game was, like, 20 hours long. Like, it was way too long for what you were able to do.
I could argue the same for Witcher.
I mean, that's fine, but at least Witcher's branding itself as an RPG.
Yeah, well, fuck you.
Like, that's the thing. Like, it's a very
Man, I've been
different
a
game.
Tolkien fanboy since like 2nd grade.
I mean, it's fine. Like, I'm not criticizing every aspect.
Although
of the
to be
game,
fair,
but, like,
these games do take some severe liberties with like everything Tolkien.
that might be an understatement.
That is true. Like I feel like
I
this
said
is just
severe liberties,
And I think that's still
How
an
is that
understatement.
an understatement?
Yeah,
I think
That's
it's-
still an understatement. Okay.
yeah.
Anyway, the reason I thought this was worth mentioning is because, like, if they were moving it, like, I'm curious if anybody else is like, maybe we don't use microtransactions.
Well, I feel-
think
Maybe
you're
we
probably...
don't do this, but like I don't think that's ever gonna happen. But it's interesting to
Yeah.
see if maybe somebody will.
But I mean, it happened with like you said, Star Wars. It happened with this game. Like I feel like,
But
if
Didn't happen
if-
with Star Wars. They
Well,
changed them.
eventually, like slightly, I don't know. But I feel like if people keep pushing back against it, developers will think twice, or at least will refine it so that it's not as game breaking as it's kind of been.
Yeah, like hopefully, if Far Cry 5 hopping back to that has done like an all right job of making its microtransactions actually feel optional.
Mm-hmm.
But like I still hate like if I'm playing the game at all, I don't want to even see the fucking thing to go buy the stuff. I just want to play the game. And
Yeah.
just knowing that it's there frustrates me because it's like I spent $60 in your shitty game. Just let me play it. But that's all I've got for news today. So it was a slow news week. We do have
Well,
a
like
couple
you said,
of,
it's only been 1 week, right? It's
just
usually
over a
2.
week, yeah, and so not much, and there weren't any big announcements at PAX or anything, which there never really are. That's not really an announcement.
Yeah, it's not
kind
really
of convention.
the venue for it.
But in terms of releases, we do have a couple of things coming out through the rest of April here. On April 17th, Yakuza 6 is going to be coming out for PS4. Much bigger release on April 20th, God of War is coming out for PS4. So is Nintendo Labo, the cardboard thing. That fully launches on April 20th. And then April 24th.
You getting those?
Yeah, I'm going to get all of them. I want the robot one.
All right.
But on April 24th, South Park Fractured But Whole comes out for Switch as well. Biggest release of the month by far is God of War.
Yeah.
So that's...
God
that
of The
game
Last of
exists.
Us.
Got pretty much.
God, The Last of Us.
I still, like, I've watched so much gameplay from that game and been like, I gotta be missing something. And I don't think I'm missing something. But
It doesn't look very fun.
That's the thing, it looks boring. And, like, I get that, like, maybe catching your axe and, like, pulling it back to you Thor style could be kind of cool. But, like, I don't think that's enough for the entire game.
Yeah.
Definitely a wait for sale on that one.
The review embargo...
Yeah.
For me, at least.
So, the review embargo ends Thursday at midnight. So, all of the reviews for these games are going to be out by the end of the week. That said, just judging by previews, I get the feeling no critic is going to actually give this a bad score.
Yeah.
It will at least let us see some more specifics about it. It looks like IGN's written review is currently almost 4,000 words long.
Oh
So,
boy.
like, this is, like, it's a hefty fucking review, and I'm sure this isn't the only one that's going to dig into it that far, because they really have basically told us nothing about this game at all.
Uh-huh.
And I think everything we've seen is pretty much from, like, the opening hours and stuff.
I don't usually trust IGN with my reviews. Like I give like definitely a basis on it, but mostly what I do is I just go on YouTube and look up stuff like that, and hopefully the YouTubers are a lot more honest with their opinions. But
Yeah, I mean, regardless of the actual opinions, we'll at least be able to see more of the game.
that too, yeah.
And get kind of a better idea what's going on. But yeah, so that'll be out soon. And that's pretty much it for things coming out. That does bring us to our main topic of the day, the kind of highlight of the episode here, which is PAX East.